If you stayed at an MGM Resorts International property up to 2017, you might have been owned or pwned with a P, meaning that there was a pretty big data breach that's been reported and verified by ZDNet, which is a giant, huge, very well-established news thing that deals with just with technology. Let's talk about why that's important and why you might say, so what? They didn't get my credit card numbers, duh. But it actually does matter. My name's Steven, not leaving Las Vegas. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when I do new videos. Share this with somebody on social media that may have stayed at one of these properties. Some of the names that got breached, like Justin Bieber and Jack Dorsey, who's the CEO, founder, Twitter guy. Big names, and maybe your name too, and I'll tell you how to check that information towards the end of this video so you're forced to watch this. No, you can actually check, go to the comments or the description of this video. There's going to be a website where you can go see if you were involved in a data breach at MGM Grand. So the news of the day is that 10.6 million people that stayed at MGM up until 2017 were basically hacked. Well, they weren't hacked, but the MGM was hacked, and they got a lot of their different information. Now, some people are going to say it doesn't matter. They didn't get any credit card information. They didn't get their social security numbers, or in the case of Canadians, their social insurance numbers, so they can't do anything to my identity. But that's really not true, and I'm going to tell you right now what actually happened. Now, MGM is not really saying, as far as I can tell, at least from what I read, what actually happened. But 10,600,000 and change had their information just spread out all over the interwebs. The interwebs were like, yes, give me that ripe data. And all this stuff was verified by ZDNet, which is a very big, reputable, trustworthy media company that deals just with technology. And so in the course of their article, which I'll post in the description below, they verified by finding people's information, calling real cell phone numbers. Is this so-and-so? Oh my gosh, it is. You know what? We found you on this website that said you had stayed at an MGM property. Oh, you did? Okay, we verified all this stuff. So what they did get specifically was street addresses, dates of birth, cell phone numbers, very identifiable data. The article doesn't, or the data breach information doesn't say whether or not the 10.6 million people were unique individuals. So if you came to Vegas 5 times in the course of a year, maybe your information was 5 of those entries of 10.6 million. They're not saying, but you know, maybe they should say. They are a publicly traded company after all. But, you know, whatever. I'm sure they have lawyers working on all this kind of stuff. And why is this important anyways? Like I mentioned, if they didn't get any credit card information, who cares, right? Well, here's why you should care. Because there's this thing called social hacking. And with social hacking, it's really simple. Like, I go through your trash and I pick out, you know, your cell phone bill. And now I have your cell phone number, even though I don't know your cell phone number. So here I have your cell phone bill. I know your first name. I know your last name. I get something that has your date of birth on it. Maybe there's a birthday card. I don't know. And then now I have your date of birth. So I call up your cell phone company. And guess what? Now I have everything. So I can gain access to your account. They're going to ask certain things like the last 4 of your social. And if I don't have that, I can always go around that by having information that's identifiable to you. And so depending on a person's security settings, depending on if they have a PIN number, which are oftentimes very easy to guess, maybe the last 4 of the person's birth year or something like that. When you have that much information, you can do specific things. You can clone SIM cards. The SIM cards is a subscriber identification module that goes into a cell phone. Now you can have 2 different cell phones, and the other person doesn't even know that their SIM card has been cloned and it's in another phone somewhere. So now you have the ability to call somebody and look like you're that person who you're not when you're calling the person. And you can get into back doors, and you can get into ways to get identifiable information. You can create new accounts for people, and you can just basically skirt tail the system. Maybe you can't get credit at that point, but I know that there's probably a nasty, mean way to do it, and all you have to do is have the information like dates of birth, cell phone numbers, addresses, identifiable information. Besides, if you are a high roller, do you want anybody knowing your address? Do you want anybody knowing your phone number? Do you want anybody knowing that information? This is the situation where people's family members get into danger, people get kidnapped, kids go missing, and then they get ransomed, and these are the kinds of things that happen. So these are some major problems that MGM is facing. But hey, guess what? They have like $900 million from selling all their properties. Maybe they can use some of that money in the upcoming lawsuit for this thing, if there is going to be a lawsuit. So what do you do? What do you do? Well, first of all, you go to the website that I mentioned. It's in the link description of this video. That site is actually not just for the MGM. That's for any kind of data breach. So if you're involved in a data breach, you can drop your email in there. You can drop different information in there and see if you come up in any of these databases. This is actually not a hacker's website. This is a good guy's website to see if your information was spread out. If you stayed at any of these properties, you might want to go ahead and make some security measures happen. Hopefully you're changing your passwords, making them unique, and you have something like LastPass or other different kinds of things that help you randomize your passwords. Turn on double identification on all of your devices, meaning that if there's like a bank app that you log into or something like that, either use your biometrics with your fingerprints or double authentication. So for example, when I log into my Google account, it doesn't just ask me for my password, it asks me for my password on my PC, and then it sends a message to my phone, which is sitting right in front of me, to make sure that I am actually trying to log in from that location. And make sure that you're being safe out there. You have to do that kind of stuff. And for gosh sakes, look on any of these credit reporting sites. You can get free credit reports. You can make sure that there's no changes to your credit reports. You can check those. There's different sites that allow you to have a 1 month, 7-day access for $1. Just make sure you sign up, pay the $1, get your credit report, and then go ahead and cancel that. And do that every few months. You really have to be up on this stuff, especially in the day and age that we live in. But MGM, you're not getting a stellar track record right now. You know, you really have to be up on this kind of stuff. This is not a giant data breach compared to some of the other ones that we've had. Of course, you know, Target got breached years ago. Home Depot got breached years ago. Heck, even the Marriott got breached worldwide. I think there was something like 500 million people in that data breach for the Marriott, and they got all sorts of identifiable information. So these companies, they'll survive. They have giant public relations machines and huge marketing machines that are working 24/7 to make sure that the damage is absolutely minimal and their bottom line isn't hurt. But what does that mean for the consumer? Does this make you mad? Are you steaming mad? Are you like ready to swing at the CEO of the MGM, whoever it may be? It's not Jim Murin anymore. Or is this just like, okay, I live in the year 2020. This is what happens when I give my information out, and this is something we have to deal with. You tell me in the comments below. This is the news for the day. It's not great news for the day, but it is news for Vegas for the day. Like, share, subscribe these videos. If you want to support the channel, we do have the Patreon option, the Teespring option. If you want to send me an email, give me some hints, some tips, some things that are going on, I'd love to hear from you. Check out the Facebook group, and people ask me, why are you promoting Facebook when you're on YouTube? Well, Facebook is social. YouTube is a one-way street. I can make videos going out to you all the time, but there's no place for you to come in and ask a Las Vegas question. So if you want to ask questions about Vegas, discuss the town, the details of the city, make your vacation better, head over to Facebook, type in Not Leaving Las Vegas group. You'll find us, you'll join us, and we'll be a community together. Thanks for watching, sharing, liking. I just wanted to do this video for you and you and you and all of us, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.